Welcome back to the Understory. Today we are delighted to be joined by Mark Nicholas, the Managing Director of the Royal Norfolk Agricultural Association, a charity that's been championing farming, food production and rural life in Norfolk since 1847. Hosting events such as the Royal Norfolk Show and supporting the next generation of farmers. Mark and the RNAA are at the heart of tackling some of the biggest issues facing agriculture today. So Mark, thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Kelsey. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Oh, I'm so happy that you agreed to come on and speak with me today.
Well, it's a pleasure.
So can you give us a little briefing about what it is that you do at the Royal Norfolk Agricultural Association?
Yes, certainly. So I'm the Managing Director of the RNAA. We'll call it that for short.
Yeah, it's quite a mouthful,
it'll take
isn't
up
it?
too much time on the podcast, that's for sure. As you said, the RNAA it's a charitable organisation, and we exist to promote and support food farming and countryside in Norfolk. Now, we're best known for the Royal Norfolk Show, which I know you've been to.
I have.
It is the UK's largest two-day agricultural show. It is huge, as we say in Norfolk,
Good
absolutely
show.
huge. And that's the flagship event. But actually, throughout the rest of the year, we're delivering a series of events and activities that support food production, farming and countryside in Norfolk. And we're also running Norfolk Showground. That is the venue. It's owned by the charity. Many of your listeners will have been up there for all sorts of events. And recently, we've just opened, as you know, the Norfolk Food Hall, which is a flagship showcase for Norfolk producers. So in a nutshell, that's what we do. The show is the flagship event, but actually we're doing masses all year round.
Perfect. Thank you for explaining that. Just in case anyone hadn't heard of you, which I'm sure anyone that lives in Norfolk has
I
heard
should hope they
and
have.
has been to
We're
Norfolk
very disappointed
Showground.
if they haven't.
I mean, there's multiple things you host up there all throughout the year, isn't there?
Throughout
on
the year,
Showground?
yeah, everything from dog shows are particularly popular. Circus, yes, we have lots of circuses. I'm not sure what the plural of circus is. Probably circus.
Yeah.
And we have lots of industry conferences, particularly midweek.
The Winter Wonderland.
The Winter
at
Wonderland
Christmas.
has just arrived. They're just beginning to set up now for Winter Wonderland 2025.
Goodness.
Believe it or not.
That time already, is it?
So it's a thriving venue. And what I want is people to realise that Norfolk Showground, it's everybody's venue. It's everybody's showground. It's not the preserve of a few people who happen to be involved with the running of the Norfolk Show or anything like that. It's truly a county asset. And we've just opened this week a 5-kilometre nature trail at Norfolk Showground.
Wow.
So members of the public, you can come up there anytime, realistically, between dawn and dusk. You can enjoy a 5K walk through some really beautiful scenery at the showground, and then top it off with a visit to the Norfolk Food Hall and Restaurant afterwards.
I was going to say, it's perfect family day out. I mean, you take the kids on the trail, and then I have checked out the menu at the food hall.
Yes, I know you have. Yep.
And it does look very good.
And you said you're going to be coming down at some point.
I am going to come down. I might have to pay a visit this week after seeing that menu.
Yeah, it's really good.
Norfolk remains the UK's breadbasket. Well, we like to think so. Somewhere else I won't name likes to think they are, but I say Norfolk, with the massive contributions to grain, sugar beet and livestock. Can you paint a picture of the current farming landscape in Norfolk as we head into 2025, including opportunities and challenges for food producers?
Yeah, sure. So I think the first point to make is that Norfolk, out of all English counties, probably has the most diverse farming systems of any county by comparison. What I mean by that is largely because of the quality of the soil that we have in East Anglia, and particularly in Norfolk. Some of the best soils are in East Norfolk.
Ben Goldsborough was saying that's why our land prices are so high.
Absolutely, agricultural land prices are high, but that reflects the quality of the soil that we're lucky enough to be custodians of.
Amazing.
In this part of the country. So we've got very rich and varied farming systems in the county. There's a huge amount of grain farming. As you've alluded to, sugar beet is a very big volume crop in Norfolk. And actually, did you know we produce the best malting barley in the world, some would say.
Really?
And that malting barley is making its way into drinks, beers and whiskies all over the world. Wow. But you don't think of malting barley as, that's definitely a sort of a product plus that Norfolk is producing and ultimately exporting. So the challenges and opportunities. So let's start with the challenges, Kelsey. The challenges in the farming sector at the moment are immense. And I think it's what many would describe as a perfect storm of frustrations and challenges, and those, by example, would include shifts in agricultural policy, the withdrawal of subsidies and other schemes that assist farming. So you've got policy change. You've obviously got the introduction of inheritance tax on agricultural businesses,
Yes.
which is going to cause a number of concerns, particularly for the small family farm who may not have constructed themselves in a way to avoid those kinds of taxes and obligations. But farmers are also facing a perfect storm of rising commodity prices, rising input prices, as we call them, through energy. We've seen we've all seen the cost of energy rocket in recent years.
Unfortunately, yes.
We've seen the cost of fertiliser, for example, I think increased by over 70% since the Ukraine war. And there's no denying it, we've got changes in our climate that are happening all around it. And we've just seen one of the driest growing seasons and harvest periods in recent years.
Ben had mentioned this, and now we're out of the EU. We now have to compete with worldwide prices for grain,
that's right.
etc.
We are on our own. We are competing in global markets. So farmers have got a lot of factors that are outside of their control.
Yes.
So it makes it increasingly risky in many ways. But let's look at the opportunities for a moment. We are lucky to have hugely diverse and imaginative, creative and collaborative farmers in Norfolk. And I think the way ahead for many will be to think, how can we collaborate better? How can we collaborate more closely, whether that's the sharing of technology and equipment, for example, or whether it's collaborating in terms of how we use our land. And we are now seeing local clusters of farmers forming up with the view of being able to protect and enhance what we call landscape recovery. So making sure that conservation and improving the ecology and biodiversity of our soils and habitats can sit alongside sustainable food production.
It's a collaboration of farmers at the moment.
Yeah, really, really important. And that's one of the things that the RNAA can be really good at, because actually our ultimate strength is probably our ability to bring people together, to convene, to join the dots.
Be a little middle ground.
Yeah, but when one end of the scale, the Royal Norfolk Show, that is bringing people together. That's 80,000 people over 2 days. It's astonishing. Nothing else in Norfolk comes close to that. But at the other end of the scale, and I mentioned the work that we do throughout the rest of the year, it might simply be bringing together a roundtable discussion of industry leaders to debate or discuss a particular challenge or opportunity in farming. Or it might be something like the Norfolk Farming Conference, which, as I said earlier, is one of the UK's premier regional farming conferences that we host and run at the showground.
Amazing. That's a lot of opportunities.
A lot of opportunities. Always opportunities.
But that's what we need to focus on, the opportunities in and amongst,
Yeah, we do. And nobody can pretend it's easy, an easy economic climate for any industry at the moment. But I think what the RNAA can be particularly good at is just... it's been a beacon for hope, and that we can bring people together. We can have these discussions, these debates, and we can ultimately look at how we improve our outcomes for our people. That's
what we need. And that's what I'm here as well, to hopefully push that out so that anyone else that's struggling or looking where to go, hopefully they can find you here today.
Yeah, I hope so.
With the average UK farmer aged at 60, drawing young talent into food production is crucial. Through initiatives like Norfolk Voices for Norfolk Futures, how is the Royal Norfolk Agricultural Association inspiring the next generation in Norfolk?
Thanks for raising this, Kelsey. We are doing masses to, I think, encourage, inspire
to hear
a younger generation of people to come into farming. And it's quite traditional in the farming sector that many farms they're owned within the family, so they are passed down from generation to generation, through succession within the family, and I think that probably contributes to older generations wanting to continue to work for as long as they can. Now, what is really important for us is to be able to encourage people to think broadly and objectively about careers in farming and agriculture, and to do everything we can to move away from this stereotype of you've got to be, some old guy in a tractor in a muddy field, and it's pretty, it looks pretty isolating and desperate and lonely. but actually make clear, inspire about the very, very broad range of career opportunities available in agriculture. Yeah,
so with the rise of technology and AI, I'm sure
we need engineers, we
Yeah.
need technologists, we need scientists, we need researchers, we need marketeers, we need the whole suite
Yeah.
of industry skills that you'd find in any other sector just as applicable.
So you're trying to entice
farming.
people in and show them what
Yeah,
else
you
they can get
entice
involved in.
people in.
It's not just sitting in a tractor all,
That's
you
right.
know, at 5 a.m.
That is just, sadly, it's just a
Part of it,
stereotypical. It's a bit like, stereotypical image of the army
Yes.
is somebody standing outside Buckingham Palace marching up and down. That just ain't a career in the army. So we do a range of things. You mentioned the Norfolk Voices for Norfolk Futures.
Yes.
That was a discussion-based initiative that we ran at the Royal Norfolk Show a few years ago, which gave the opportunity for young people coming into the industry to stand on a platform with quite a lot of senior policy makers in the room,
Yes.
and to tell them what they were looking for. Yeah,
That's amazing. Are you going to be doing
terms
that
of their
again?
careers. And we do these things all the time.
Oh, perfect.
And we are particularly strong on running programs of offering grants, bursaries and scholarships to,
Amazing.
again, to younger people who are trying to get into the industry or are in the industry but need a bit of help,
Yeah.
whether it's financial, it's mentoring, guidance, to go and do something really exciting. Get out of Norfolk, go and look at something that's really, really interesting. So, for example, this year we set up something called the Norfolk International Scholarship. So we, in partnership with UEA and a funder, a charitable trust funder, the Norfolk International Scholarship allows a student to be selected from UEA to go and research something really interesting overseas.
Wow.
And bring those findings back to Norfolk.
That's
because they'll be
amazing.
applicable and of use to farmers.
So how to
in
train
Norfolk.
up our own youth of how to,
Yeah, exactly.
and rather than relying on other people to bring that knowledge in, train up our own young people to do it. That's amazing.
So it's what we call raising aspirations
Yes.
and then enabling potential. The enabling bit.
I'm all about raising
is-
aspirations and enabling potential.
But the enabling bit is, do you need a bit of financial support to go
Yes.
and do something? We have, like I said, we have grants, bursaries and scholarship schemes for that.
Yeah.
Or can we help enable you in another way to go and do something? And that could be simply joining the dots, making introductions, and so on. And within the framework of what the RNAA does, we have something called the Food and Farming Discovery Trust, which is our education arm, and the FFDT for short, that's another mouthful, is getting out all the time. In fact, today they're in Galston delivering a really interesting project with East Norfolk Sixth Form College and other local schools and academies in the Galston Great Yarmouth area, which will enable youngsters to be introduced to those different career types, getting in front of employers. They did exactly the same in Thetford last week, and the ultimate expression of what they do is this year absolutely amazing. Over 15,000 youngsters coming in school groups to the Royal Norfolk Show.
That's amazing.
To have a look, just take part, just be informed, influenced and inspired a little bit.
That's what you need.
About careers in farming and why agriculture is so important.
Because you're right, if not, you will get the stereotypical kind of people thinking that's all there is to it, is being in the field.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that you're showcasing the wide range of opportunities that are in agriculture.
That's right. And we've mentioned that a lot of farms sit in family ownership.
Yes.
And there's kind of almost a protection around that to a point, and that can make it quite difficult, quite challenging for youngsters who are not from farming backgrounds to get into farming. So we want to help try and overcome some of those inhibitions and perceptions.
What about because obviously a lot of them, as you said, are kind of kept within families.
Yeah.
What about the issues that the young people in said families are facing in regards to taking over them farms? Do you offer support and advice for those as well?
We don't ourselves, but what we can do is signpost people who need a little bit more guidance and support to go and get the right information. And I know that we're hosting an event at the Norfolk Food Hall, actually, that Larkin Gowan, a running well-known firm of accountants in this neck of the woods, are providing a session for Norfolk young farmers about how to approach succession.
That's amazing. Thank you for that. That's very good to know. I would like to say congratulations again. I know I said it before the cameras come on, but congratulations once again on the opening of the food hall. So that opened in May, I believe, this year.
Yep.
And it's already being hailed as the Norfolk's largest with, 3,500 What?
Square feet.
Square feet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's large. So it's got a restaurant, a deli, and with at least 70% sourcing from Norfolk and Suffolk local producers.
Yeah, that's right. And it's also made its way into the top 21 farm shops and restaurants in the UK.
Already?
Yeah, we are particularly pleased with the Norfolk Food Hall. This is our big
That's incredible.
flagship
So quickly
project
as well.
Yeah, 3 million in investment.
I did see 3 million investment. Yeah.
In Norfolk's producers in creating a showcase for food producers for the industry. And if you go in there, what you'll see is, firstly, you'll see loads of amazing produce. Yeah, a lot of it from Norfolk, some from Suffolk. We don't mind that, but there's a lot from Norfolk. But what you'll also, I think, get a feel for is just how important agriculture and farming is in Norfolk, and that is brought to life by a whole range of visual graphics in the food hall, including a lot of information about all the different types of people who make up the farming sector. Yeah, you'll see it when you go up there.
Yeah, I know a few young farmers myself, to be honest.
Yeah,
well, they're probably about my age, but they've been bred for it.
Farmers,
youngish.
Let's be honest.
But they love being out there, so it's nice that they have somewhere they can showcase their produce.
That's right.
And like you said,
yeah. So this is absolutely a Norfolk showcase for a key industry.
With profits invested into RNAA's charitable work and features like a children play area and green spaces, and you said the nature trail.
The trail, yes, open this week.
Yeah. So how is it fostering community connections to food production, and have you seen early impacts such as increased sales for small producers?
Well, what we've already seen is an increasing number of Norfolk producers who've now got their products in the food hall. So we're now up to 96.
Wow.
Which is amazing.
That's great.
And some of those producers are very small scale operations, maybe one person bands, literally. And what we can provide is a direct route to market, direct access to market, because let's face it, if you're a small scale producer, it's difficult to get in front of the buying groups and the cooperatives,
of course,
and supermarkets. But what we can do is, as we're doing right now, is showcase the really impressive range of what we
show
produce.
how well it sells.
Yeah,
so then
the
they
food
can
and drink,
hopefully
with the amazing food and drink that we produce in Norfolk. So that's the showcase bit. The food hall and restaurant is also designed to be a hub.
Yes.
Yep. So we really encourage people. We encourage people to come and hold their events in the restaurant, in the food hall. There's ways of doing that. We had a great event last week with Norfolk Community Foundation, who brought 80 people up for a launch of the Nourishing Norfolk project research that's just been commissioned.
Yes.
And we want to encourage much more of that. But it's also for the local communities on our doorstep, because we are kind of surrounded by Cossey, Easton,
myself and Heverset.
You're not far at all, as the crow flies, in Heverset, Marlborough, Colton, Barbara, and we want to create a place where locals, can feel that the food hall is very much their home.
I love that. That's brilliant. So it's a great little community feel to it, as well as just showcasing the local produce. What inspired this £3 million project?
Yeah, sure. So what inspired it was really on the back of COVID, looking long and hard at what it is that the RNAA does. Now, we've got the show. The show's great. The show's absolutely brilliant. We've got a thriving events business at the showground. Anybody who's been up there will know that. Yep. And we're doing a whole load of things all year round to support the industry, as we've discussed. But like any business, we can't stand still. We've got to keep moving forward. We've got to keep innovating. And the two key reasons for building the Norfolk Food Hall are, firstly, that it's a very modern and different expression of our charitable support, to support the farming industry in Norfolk and food producers, and we've just covered that. But also that it's another golf club in the RNAA's bag of what it does.
Yes.
So this is a little bit of the RNAA actually diversifying what it does as well, and making sure that we've got sufficient income streams that are going to make us sustainable for the long term. And as you've already mentioned, the surpluses made in the food hall, they are gift aided back to the RNAA, the parent charity, which means that we can do more good.
To help.
In the same way that the Royal Norfolk Show is a charitable event. It's a charitable fundraising event.
Perfect. Norfolk's output about 2.2 million eggs daily. Key crops and innovative producers bolsters UK food security amid rising import concerns and prices. How is the RNAA strengthening local production chains? And beyond the food hall, what other 2025 plus initiatives, like the Yield Network for Young Professionals, farm visits or partnerships with Agri-Tech, with a capital E after, is that just pronounced Agri-Tech?
Agri-Tech E, yes.
Agri-Tech E?
Agri-Tech E, yes.
Are helping connect producers to markets and educate on food production.
Yeah, sure. So the greatest thing we can do is bring people together. It's that convening point, and how we can how we can help the industry in different parts of the industry is to create those platforms and those opportunities for them to come together. So classic one in this case is the Norfolk Farming Conference. It's one of the largest regional farming conferences in the UK now. It attracts government ministers and a whole host of national...
I feel like I want to come along just to see
come
one.
And do it. Yeah. Come February the 10th. February the 10th.
Send me an email.
Norfolk Event Centre. Come up for that. So it's creating those opportunities for dialogue, discussion that can enable the experts in the industry to achieve the outcomes that they are seeking. So going forward for us, it's very much about continuing to do what we're already doing, but making it even more effective. You mentioned the Yield Group.
Yes.
Yield Group is amazing. It's a group of about 300 or so younger professionals who are in farming or working in supporting industries, usually between 25 and 45, and that's our sort of next generation group.
So that's the kind of age group you're focusing on when it comes to inspiring young farmers.
Yeah, exactly. And they have an amazing programme of visits, of talks. They've got a winter seminar coming up in Norwich fairly soon, and just continuing the momentum of just bringing people together so that those positive outcomes can be a bit nearer.
Perfect. And I guess with these kind of events, the people at the top can help filter down their knowledge and expertise as well to everyone.
Yes.
Brilliant. And with 7.5 million in funding for Agri-Tech E from Norfolk County Council and Innovate UK, how is technology transforming food production here from speed breeding to data-driven sustainability? Yeah,
well, the advance of technology is a huge opportunity for farmers in this region. It does also present some challenges around making sure that we've got a skilled workforce who can actually use the technology in a way that's going to enhance...
That would help.
Productivity and efficiencies, but there's a huge amount going on in terms of technological advances in the sector. We're really pleased to work very closely with Agri-Tech E, who are a expert organisation in bringing together businesses in East Anglia and further afield now, but particularly East Anglia, who really understand how technology is evolving. And then there's some of the things we're seeing on farms now is amazing. You go out to Frederick Heigham, they are root vegetable producers out near Brandon, on the border with Suffolk. They've completely automated their crop processing unit, completely automated it. They're using robotics and automated kit in the field as well, whether it be for weeding or for sowing of seeds. So this is very much the future of where
that's where it's going, isn't it?
Where it's going, and I think the ever advancing opportunities around artificial intelligence again will create some really interesting opportunities. But what we've got to do is just do everything we can to make sure that the sector is supported by people who've got the skills to be able to
making sure people
exploit the technology,
so they can utilise basically AI on their farms rather than being fearful of it taking over. They can learn how to utilise technology and AI to enhance their farming.
Absolutely. And again, Norfolk has always been at the forefront of innovation in farming. You go back to the 1790s, for example, and what was happening at Holcombe in the very early days of sheep showing. So this was sheep showing. So this is where today, agricultural shows come from. Their roots were in bringing, people like Thomas Cook at Holcombe, bringing together local farmers, to share best practice, to exchange knowledge, and that's how agricultural associations and shows have evolved over time. But look around Norfolk now. We've got the Norwich Research Park. absolute world-class organisation.
They've done some amazing
things. Plant genetics.
Some banana that they're going to be.
Yeah,
it's going to be all over the world now.
Yeah,
some new Norfolk banana.
The Norfolk banana that's been developed by a spin-out business called Tropic.
Right.
The 6 key organisations of the NRP are just doing amazing research and innovation all the time.
Incredible.
And then just a few miles down the road next to the showground, we've got one of Europe's largest vertical farms, Fisher Farm on the Food Enterprise Park,
wow.
where food is now being grown vertically.
Okay.
Rather than perhaps taking up hundreds.
I have seen a few
acres.
Like small scale things of these where people have in their gardens and they do their kind of small scale crops. So is this like a big scale version?
It's a big scale version. You need to go and see it.
I was going to say I want to see that now too.
It's not far from Headerset.
I'm going to be going around doing lots of things like this now.
Yeah. So there's masses going on in Norfolk.
And I'm glad that we can tell everybody about this. Well, you can tell us about this.
But it's not just having an impact here. It's absolutely having an impact globally, particularly in terms of what's happening at the Norwich Research Park. It's astonishing.
It's incredible. So we're leading the way now.
Field. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. So there is a lot of opportunity still out here in agriculture.
Yeah.
So for my last question, Mark, looking to 2030 and beyond, what's your vision for Norfolk's food production and industry amid policy, climate, and consumer shifts?
My vision is very much that the sector is working with levels of collaboration that we're not really seeing yet. It's happening in some parts,
slowly.
In some areas, in some ways. But I think the future is very much being able to collaborate, to share the best practice, to exchange the knowledge and make efficiencies through collaboration, whether it's with kit and equipment, manpower. It's already happening to a degree. But I think the future, if we are to try and safeguard the future of family farms in Norfolk, smaller family farms versus the very big farming estates, then collaboration is key to that vision.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Mark. Thank you for answering my questions and taking the time to come here and explain to me and the viewers everything that's going on right now and all the good that you're doing in trying to inspire, young farmers to continue on their mission to keep local farms running. Because like you said, Norfolk, it's prime land for it, and to see it diminish would be sad. It would be very saddening. I mean, agriculture is one of the last kind of remaining big industries I believe the UK has got for itself. You know, we can supply most of our own things that we need. We don't have that industrial side anymore. So I'm fascinated and hell-bent on making sure, even though I don't even have a farm, I'm really hell-bent on making sure that we continue doing what we do best over here.
It's really, really important, and it's key to Norfolk, and farming is Norfolk, and we've got to make sure that it survives and thrives.
We do. Before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to add or promote, and where can our listeners find you?
Well, I would encourage all your listeners, if they've not been up to the Norfolk Food Hall, come and do that, because you'll not only enjoy the experience in the farm shop and the restaurant, but you'll also, I think, be really, really engaged and informed about farming in Norfolk through the visuals and through the interpretation.
There's a lot to learn.
That's on display at the Norfolk Food Hall. So come and do that, and come if you want to know more about the showground. No better place to start than yomping around the nature trail.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much once again.
Not at all.
And thank you to everyone that came and joined us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, give it a share. Leave your comments down below. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see next time. I'm sure there's nothing that you won't like. Anyway, until next time, thank you all.